Today is story time. So today I decided to share some of my pain with you. I came up with a list of 10 embarrassing things that led me on my weight loss journey. Some of these things are, like the title says, embarrassing. Some of these things I've never shared with anyone before. You guys are going to be the first people to hear some of these things on this list out loud. The first thing that happened to me was doing some floor work at a dialysis clinic, and they have these really big scales, really big floor scales. For patients that are in wheelchairs. So I figured I'll get my big ass on this scale. Guys, when I got on that scale, the number I saw made me sick to my stomach. I looked down at that number. I weighed 314 pounds. That's the biggest I've ever been in my life. I jumped off that scale before anybody walked in the room and saw that number. I'll be honest with you. I was embarrassed. I don't want nobody to walk in the room and see the number on that scale. The next thing that happened is I got out of the shower one day. I was drying my body off and I looked down and I can barely see my private part. Now this one is kind of funny, and this is fat boy issues. Some of my fat boys out there, you'll know my pain. You'll know what I'm talking about. I can barely see my private part. It was embarrassing. I'm gonna move on now. Next thing was, I got scared straight watching 600 Pound Life. I knew. And the next year, if I don't change my ways, if I don't change what I'm doing or how I'm living my life, I'm gonna be on that TV screen on this TV show. And I don't wanna be one of those people. No offense to those people, but I don't wanna live my life like that, man. Next, I went to a comedy show in Pittsburgh. One of the comedians on this show was Bruce. Bruce is a rather big guy. After the comedy show, I paid to take a picture with Bruce. Later, looking at that photo, I realized I was almost as big as Bruce. And that was no bueno. That leads me into my next thing. I thought I looked horrible in my clothes. I looked sloppy. My clothes looked sloppy. My clothes were decent clothes, but they looked sloppy on my body because my body was sloppy. That bothered me. I went to Cedar Point. My family and I got in line for this roller coaster. After over an hour of waiting to get on this roller coaster, we finally get up to the point where it's our turn to get in the seat. The workers come around, they strap everybody in, they get to me, they push that sucker down, it won't click. I was too fat. I was too fat. Now, when I say embarrassed, I was embarrassed. People looking at me like, or maybe they weren't, because I was suffering from what we talked about in the last video, caring about what others thought about me. That was one of my goals. I want to lose enough weight to go back to Cedar Point and ride some roller coasters, regardless to the fact that I'm afraid of heights. Just because I felt defeated in that moment. Next thing that happened was, when I would sleep on my back, I would periodically stop breathing. Scary. Also embarrassing, but scary. I was so unhealthy that I was unable to sleep on my back because it would cause me to stop breathing throughout the night. If you know anybody or you witnessed anything like this, man, let me know I'm not the only one, because I know I'm not the only one. I just might be the only one willing to tell other people about it. The next thing that happened was I would go out to restaurants, food places, and order more than one combo or platter of food and pretend it was for me and other people or me and someone else. Yo. So yeah, confession, man. Very embarrassing. I used to go to food places and order multiple combos and pretend it wasn't all for me. I remember seeing the largest pair of jeans I've ever saw in my life. And I looked at the tag to see what size those jeans were. And the size of those jeans were size 50. And I just remember thinking to myself, man, that is huge. I hope I never get that big. I was one pant size away from that. Made me want to just change my life. That's not nothing really too serious. It's just something small that impacted me mentally and led to me changing my life, changing my eating habits, changing my diet. Last thing that happened, I was sitting at one of my nephew's houses and we're having a conversation, and he spoke on how he thought that I looked very happy. Reason why he felt I looked very happy was because I was putting on some weight. I remember leaving his house and looking in my mirror at my face and seeing that I had put some weight back on. I can see it in my face. And it wasn't because I was necessarily happy. It was more because I was depressed during that period of time. I was in a dark place. I was going through some things personally in life, and I was turning to food for comfort at times. I was emotionally eating. I'm able to look back on these moments now and realize I was eating for comfort. I was overindulging in foods that I shouldn't overindulge in, or indulge in at all in some cases. But I was doing it to make myself feel better. And thanks, Neff. I appreciate you, man. You're part of the reason why I've ended up where I am today. So I appreciate your constructive criticism. Even though you may not be aware that I processed your words as constructive criticism and turn them into power to become better. So thank you, man. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope something I said helps someone today make a positive change in their life. Because if not, then this is pointless in a sense, other than it being a way for me to document my own progress, because I'm horrible at taking pictures and documenting my progress. I appreciate you guys stopping by and bearing witness to some of my pain. If you could please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. Appreciate you guys stopping by and joining me for a little story time. It's getting dark out here. I'm going to wrap this up, get back to my car, get home, get a shower, wash the day away. I love you all out there. Have a happy new year. Everyone be safe. Make it home safe. Indulge responsibly. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
This shit finally happened after we prayed for it. I done fell down plenty times, then I got back up cause I was made for it. Working hard like a slave for it. Ain't no one make a way for us, so I'm just trying to pave a way for us. Stay down, keep grinding. I can see better days for us. I can see better days for us.
I really do know love.
I can see better days for us.
I really see that shit.
I can see better days for us.